This is After Hours with Amy Lawrence. Time to ask Amy anything. Sort of.
Hit me with your best shot. Fire away.
Hi, peeps. I know, crazy faces when the red light goes on and we're on camera. We're doing something special for you this week. We've been promising it, teasing it for a couple of weeks. A video version of Ask Amy Anything. And the guys get to ask the questions that you submitted. So Isaac is up first. We are ready to go. Come on, bring it on, Isaac.
All right, Amy, this question comes from Tommy Tank Jones. What's the best sports stadiums that you've been to?
Well, my favorite baseball park is PNC in Pittsburgh. Fantastic. Oh, shoot. What are some of the other ones? Fenway Park is amazing. Obviously, been there. It's classic. I'm hoping to go to Wrigley Field this year. Loved going to the United Center for the Blackhawks Stanley Cup game last year against the Tampa Bay Lightning. That place was rocking. And college basketball, I'm going to go the old Gallagher-Iba Arena for Oklahoma State, as well as Cameron Indoor. Those are some good ones. NBA, I haven't been to Oracle yet, so I can't say that one. But those are some of the ones that jump to mind.
What's the wildest in-show event that's happened during your career?
This probably wouldn't seem wild at the beginning, but it was when it was happening. I was doing Sunday Night Baseball at my old network, and it was the night that our military got Osama bin Laden. The Navy SEALs got him, and so I'm in the middle of doing a baseball game. It's a national broadcast, and the news starts to break that we have killed Osama bin Laden, and I had the opportunity to break that news to our audience. I was shaking. I mean, this was about 10 years after 9/11, and I was literally shaking because it's such an amazing story. It's something that means so much to our country. The magnitude of it was not lost on me, and so for the next 2 hours, every few minutes, I was breaking in and telling the country that Osama bin Laden was dead and that we finally had the mastermind of the 9/11 plot. And I think that, to me, was probably the biggest moment of my sports career, even though it wasn't a sports moment. It was pretty amazing.
Okay, we have a listener question, Amy, from @theSagest, and he wants to know, Amy, you travel quite a bit each year, so on an airplane, do you prefer an aisle, window, or the center seat?
Oh, well, if it's the only way I can get on the plane is to have the center seat, then I'll take the center seat. Or if the center seat is in first class, I'm all about it. But I typically will pick the windows so I can be away from distractions in the aisles. Here's the bad part. I stink at sleeping on airplanes, stink at it, but I try every time. So I try to stay up late the night before, I try to get no sleep, I try to be exhausted, and then curl up next to the window so that I can somehow sleep, except that it never works because I usually have a seat that's uncomfortable, or I'm next to the wing and it's really loud, or I just can't get to sleep. But I do try to get away from as many people as possible. I wear sunglasses and I wear headphones so people know not to talk to me and so that I can try to sink into my little cocoon.
I'm 6'4". I'm all about the aisle seat. I need that leg room. Here's a question from me.
Oh, yay.
You're driving your car, you're going shopping. You pull into the parking lot of the shopping center, mall, whatever it is, and you've got your eye on a spot. You see a car, people get into a car, they're about to get out. They start the car, and you're sitting there, and you're waiting.
Yes.
And you're waiting.
Yes.
And the car's not moving. You know the car is on. You heard the car go on, and they're sitting there. So here's my question. How long do you wait there for this car to pull out of the spot before you give up and go look for another spot?
Is there another spot within eyesight?
Well, you have to go searching for it. It's
so
a busy
in that
day.
particular aisle, there's no spot.
There's no other spots. You would have to go around somewhere
How
else and look for
close
it.
is this spot?
It's a good spot.
Then I
it's
wait.
It's a good spot.
I wait for at least 3 minutes. I might actually give them a friendly honk, like not but just a.
Like, hey, are you getting out of the
Yeah,
spot
just like
or
a
what,
hey,
buddy?
or I'll ask. No, not a me. I mean, don't you ever do that? Sometimes sit in your car. It's better to text in your car than it is to start driving and send a text. So, yeah, so we're all good. I'll be patient. I'm not very patient. It's not my virtue, but I'll be patient for a space.
I'll give them a couple of minutes, and then I'm going to go look for another spot. And there you go, a couple of questions for Amy.
I guess we're here for the Ask Amy Anything finale. It's kind of crazy, but we'll jump right into it. First one comes from Daniel. Amy, what birthday was your happy birthday, by the way?
Thank you.
What birthday was your favorite birthday?
Well, that one's tough because I love birthdays. We do birthdays big in my family, but I would have to say 2003 because my alma mater, Syracuse, won the national championship in college basketball on my birthday. It was the coolest thing ever. I felt as though they had given me an amazing present. So, I would probably have to say 2003. I'm not going to tell you how old I am, but Syracuse gave me a giant orange gift.
I'm hoping this is going to get us into one of our classic stories, but I don't have to put too much pressure on Amy. But Chris asked, what is Amy's needle story?
Do I have to tell this story, really? Oh, no.
If not now, then when?
This is legendary in my family. It's terrible. When I think I was early high school, late junior high, early high school, I had a plantar's wart on the bottom of my foot. Actually, I had two. And that was before they could do the lasers and just burn them off. And so instead, they had to cut it out of my foot. Oh, I'm having trauma just thinking about this. And so the doctor stuck this gigantic needle. I mean, it was as long as a pencil, a full pencil, gigantic needle in the ball of my foot. So like right, where that he could like get it numb. And it hurt so badly. I screamed so loud that the entire waiting room could hear me. My brother was out there like freaking out because he could hear me screaming. My mom comes running in. It was awful. And so then I had to go back and get another one done. And I knew the needle was coming. Oh, worst experience of my life. So thankfully no more plantar's warts since then, but I'm not kidding. I broke the sound barrier with how crazy I was over that nasty needle.
Okay, the last Ask Amy Anything question. Simple one. Over 3 years, what is your favorite Ask Amy Anything memory?
I would have to say all of the embarrassing dating stories, I think, because
Me too.
Whatever, if you can tell them on national radio, then you have lower inhibitions. Of course, it leads to marriage proposals, which is kind of creepy. But I think probably just making jokes and being able to make other people laugh with all of my pathetic dating stories, my lack of a social life, that's probably the best. But also, it's been neat to talk about some of the things that I know about my childhood that you guys don't know. My brother, my mom, she's a big fan of Ask Amy Anything. She listens to the podcast and now we'll watch the video. Thank you guys so much for all of your questions. This is kind of the place where we're going to table Ask Amy Anything. It's been 3.5 years. We're going to put it on the shelf for a little bit. We'll bring it back in the fall. But as always, we appreciate your interest in my weird, strange, but so wonderful life.
Hit me with your best shot.